Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm back with another reading. I just want to say thank you to all of you that have been viewing my videos and my shorts. Thank you to the new that have stopped by. And thank you to those that have subscribed, that have been here before. Welcome back. Everyone is welcome. And I've already prayed over the cards and meditated over the cards. Go ahead and do a quick reading real quick. See what Spirit would like to say. That's one. I hope everybody's doing okay this evening. What is today's date? Let me see real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, today is Wednesday, June 10th of 2026. Okay. So what we got here, we're gonna use it's the Blocked and Blessed deck. Let's see what we get. Spirit ancestors, the Most High God, what would you like to say? My spirit team of love and light. Y'all have anything to say to the collective tonight? Y'all, I was doing readings for myself using the same deck and these cards was flying out. I just want to see if Spirit got something to say for the collective tonight using these same cards. Maybe I got the wrong cards. We're going to see. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be yawning so much. They're kicking our butt in that hot warehouse. Good Lord. We got one. I'm going to just go ahead and get the cards first, and then I'll tell you what they are, okay? That's an interesting card. Whoop. These cards do not want to fall. I hope y'all had a good day today. I had a good day. It went by kind of fast. It was very productive today, so I was kind of happy about that. I stayed busy for most of the day. Usually what I do is I just put my earbuds in and just go to work, you know, try to block out any other distractions so I can get done what I need to get done. That's usually how I do it at work. So my earbuds is in. I'm either listening to self-help videos or music or something to that effect. So it helps the day go by faster. Just to stay focused and try to concentrate. And yes, it'd be hot in that warehouse, but thank my daughter for buying me a neck fan. So it's like it goes around my neck and it's got two fans right here. And it keeps me pretty cool. We got 3 cards already and I need one more. And then we're going to go ahead and get into this read, okay? Spirit ancestors, Most High God, can I get one card, please? Just one more. These cards are pretty direct and to the point. I love the graphics on it. I don't know who drew this stuff, but they're really colorful cards, you know. Oh, I got two more. No, I got three. Oh, okay. That's enough. And then we'll go with what's at the bottom of the deck, okay? All right, so the first card, let me move this stuff out of the way. The first card is, it says, spiritual glow-ups don't come with filters. Healing isn't aesthetics, it's awkward. Authenticity, struggle, and a reality check. So let me show you. Spiritual glow-ups don't come with filters. So somebody has had a spiritual glow-up, okay? And somebody don't think that it's real. Somebody has a problem with somebody else's spiritual glow-up because they think it's fake. That's why it says it doesn't come with filters. A filter is usually is to polish up an image or a video of someone to make it look better than the original. You know, it's kind of like, what's the word I want to say? I guess manipulation in a way. It's kind of like that. Hold on. I gotta do something real quick. But it's like that. So somebody had a spiritual glow up and somebody think that it's fake. They don't believe that the person has put in the work, the spiritual work, to get to where they are for the spiritual glow up. They have a problem with that. Healing isn't aesthetics, it's awkward. So it's not a look. They feel like this person is putting on, you know, like it's just on the surface what it looks like that they had a glow up, but they really didn't. And they just creating an image of glowing up, and that's not what really happened. So it almost sounds like a hater. Somebody is upset at this person for having this glow up, and they must have a lot of support from people on their journey, on their spiritual journey, and this person is mad that this person is getting attention, and so they don't feel like that it's real. The second card I have here is, it says, and I'm going to show you, accountability. Crystals can't replace common sense. You can't vibe your way out of accountability, responsibility, ownership, and maturity. So it's still, this person is, to me, this is what I'm getting. This person is trying to say that whoever the person is that had a spiritual glow up, they're saying that that person is telling people that, you know, you could, what's the word? Vibe your way into some blessings. They feel like that person that's supposed to have had the glow up relies on a lot of things and tells people to rely on like spiritual things to receive the blessings. And they're trying to say that it says crystals can't replace common sense, that whoever that person is that has are going through a spiritual or has gone through a spiritual glow up or is in the process of going through a spiritual glow up, they're trying to say that person uses crystals, and you know, you never know what they may be using or whatever it is, but they're trying to say that this person is not being responsible. They're not taking accountability for their actions. It seems like they got a problem with them being spiritual, like they trying to make some money off of being spiritual. That's what this person is saying about the person that is going through the ascension process, the spiritual growth, the spiritual glow up. They're saying you can't vibe your way out of accountability. Like you're not being accountable for your actions. You're trying to say it's spirit. This person is such a hater. My third card says spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. Clean your room. That's the message. Discipline, reset, and action. Oh. Spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. Clean your room. That's the message. Discipline, reset, and action. Spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. These first three cards seems like it's coming from somebody that's a hater that's toxic. They have a problem with somebody that has this glow up. So they're trying to say, you're not a clean person. So how are you spiritual? You don't keep your room clean. You don't do this. You don't clean up your house. Cleanliness is next to godliness. How are you spiritual and you don't even keep clean? Or it could be saying that the person that's the hater is the one who's trying to be spiritual and they are dusty. They are dirty. They keep their house dirty. They don't stay clean. They don't have laundry all over the place. The house is tore up. All kind of stuff going on with them. It could be them. It says discipline, reset, and action. Now, this person is not a very disciplined person. So whoever this spiritual person is that's going through the glow up phase or has gone through it or is in the middle of it or whatever it is that they're seeing, that they're saying the glow up, they're making it seem like that person didn't put in the work. They're not who they appear to be. You know what I'm saying? They don't even take accountability. Their head always in the clouds. You know what I'm saying? They don't take care of their business. They too busy trying to be so spiritual that they're not taking care of business. They're not paying their bills. They're not being responsible or accountable for their behavior and their actions. They're always sitting around praying with crystals in their hands and meditating and all of that stuff. They're not being accountable for the things they should be accountable for. They got a problem with this person. They have a problem with them. And then they had the nerve to turn around and say they're not even a clean person. But what I am, and I just heard, wow, that they don't know what this person that has gone through the ascension process, their spiritual glow up, they don't know what that person went through or sacrificed to be in the position that they're in, to be having a spiritual glow up. They don't know. They don't care. But they don't understand that you don't just glow up spiritually. You have to go through some things. There has to be a dark night of the soul. You're going to have to deal with some things and some parts of you that's dark. You know what I'm saying? And literally work on those things. These are things that are hidden that you don't want other people to know about. Those are the things that you're going to have to allow to come to the surface, to be worked on and worked out so that you can do the ascension. You can go through the ascension process and come out on the other side better. What they call a spiritual glow up. They don't understand that this is what has to happen. That it wasn't an easy process, that there was some work that literally took place that this person did, this spiritual person did. They went through some things. And and I'm getting, as I'm sitting here, this person that's hating on the spiritual person, that person that's hating on them is probably the one that put the spiritual person through it. That's what I'm getting. They're probably the one that put them through HE double hockey sticks. And they were a reason or a catalyst, I'm hearing, for this person to go on their ascension, to go the spiritual path, to glow up spiritually. And whether they know it or not, they play a big part in the reason why this person went on this glow up, this spiritual journey. They're a part of that because they put them through some stuff. That's what I'm hearing. And this is why they hate this person so much and is talking about them. That when I say hate, they're being a hater, that they no longer have control of this person. Okay? So this person, they may have been in a relationship with them at one point. But when they were in the relationship with this spiritual person, this spiritual person was attempting to help the other person. Now I'm getting all this intuitive. The spiritual person was trying to help the hater. when they were in a relationship. They were trying to show them the way, because the spiritual person wasn't where they are now, but they were on their way, and they wanted their partner, who is this hater now, to go with them on this spiritual path with them. But apparently there must have been some resistance from the hater, who did not want to go on the spiritual journey. And at some point these two did separate, because how can two walk together unless they be agreed? They're not going to be able to do that, because they're not in a agreement of what is spiritual and what is not, what's good and what is not, what's light and what's dark. So they could not continue on the same path. So at some point you come to the fork in the road, and both people had to make a choice. And however it happened, they made a decision. The spiritual person wanted to continue on their path. They wanted to ascend. They wanted to grow spiritually. They wanted to continue to seek out spiritual things. They wanted to stay in the light. And their partner, who became an ex-partner, wanted to stay in the dark. And of course, we know everything done in the dark comes to the light. It has to. Nothing stays hidden forever. It doesn't stay hidden forever. Maybe a little while, but not forever. Eventually, it is exposed. The light is going to expose it. So maybe this spiritual person, during their process of trying to get their partner to go on a spiritual journey with them, saw some things about their partner that they didn't see before. Because the more you start ascending and growing spiritually, the more you start seeking out the light more, the more you start seeking out what's good, the more the dark starts showing up more. Because the light is going to expose the dark. The more you live righteously and do righteous and on your righteous and godly and spiritual path, when you start doing that, you start shunning things that are in the dark. You shun that. You push that away. And since the partner did not want to go on the spiritual path towards the light and they stayed in the dark, you're going to naturally shun the partner who is in the dark. You're not trying to do it. You tried to take them with you, but they chose the darkness. And because they chose the darkness, you were now faced with the decision to make the choice of whether you was going to stay with your partner in the dark, because that they were going to pull you into the dark. They're going to pull you into the dark because you're going to be constantly resisting the dark had you stayed with them. And so that person made the decision that I'm going to continue on my spiritual journey. Then there was a schism, a breaking, a tearing apart of the two. And this person continued on their spiritual path, separating from their partner who decided to stay in the dark. Okay? And that person that stayed in the dark is salty. They're mad. They're upset. They're irritated. They're a hater now. They're this spiritual person's number one hater. That's what I am getting. And that's why they talking SHIT about this spiritual person. Talking about a spiritual glow up don't come with filters. So you a guru now? You trying to talk about spirituality and stuff? Where did that come from? I ain't seen none of that when I was with you. They did. They just chose to ignore it. They didn't know what they was looking at. Okay? They didn't know what they were hearing. They didn't know what they were experiencing with that energy. Because excuse me, they'd never experienced it before. So therefore they had no recognition. So now they're talking about this person. Talking about you're not authentic. You need a reality check. You need to come back down to earth. Your head is in the clouds too much. Ain't nothing authentic about that, y'all. She fake. He fake. She not no guru. He not no guru. I know. We used to date. We used to be together. I know about them. And they won't take accountability. They're being irresponsible with being who they are, trying to call themselves being a spiritual person and not being responsible or accountable for the different people that they trying to come across to as this spiritual person. They're not telling the truth. They're not telling the truth. They're lying. They're trying to get some gain off of this. There's nothing authentic about them. We used to live together. They say you never know you never know a person until y'all live together. And they messy. They don't even keep stuff clean. They're not a clean person. Now, how they gonna be a spiritual person? Next card. I have 6 cards, by the way. That was 3. This is the 4th card. It says bare minimum. You deserve flowers, not confusion. Worthiness, love, and standards. Okay. So a spiritual person, I believe this is for the spiritual person. That they used to get the bare minimum from this person, this hater. When they were together, they got the bare minimum, but they tried their best to bring that relationship together to make it a healthy relationship. They tried their best to show them the kind of love that they never had before. They tried their best to show them that there's nothing wrong with opening up. They tried their best to show them the way spiritually, that there's a better way than the way they were, the road that they were traveling. There's a better way. They tried hard and they invested a lot into this hater, their partner. And I don't even think at the time they knew that person was really their hater, their enemy. They were a hater. They hated the fact that the spiritual person was always spiritual, trying to be. They looked at it as always trying to be spiritual and always trying to pray for somebody, always talking about spiritual things and always talking about stuff that they're not aware of and don't know nothing about and they're not interested in. So they had a problem with the spiritual person, and at first they didn't let the spiritual person know they had a problem with it. But it became pretty obvious and evident later because they did split. So the person that was spiritual was investing a lot of love, time, and attention and care, seeing that this person might have needed them to hold their hand a little bit, and they was willing to do that and continue to invest in this person with all of whatever their issues were that they were dealing with that person. And they got back the bare minimum. The hater, the partner that was the hater, was not reciprocating. It was not equal give and take. The spiritual person, male or female, was not getting back half of what they were giving. And this was done intentionally. Their partner, who was their secret hater, was intentionally holding back. They were taking, but they were not giving. Not barely. It says the bare minimum. And then it says you deserve flowers, not confusion. Worthiness, love, and standards. It put me in mind when it says you deserve flowers. I'm willing to bet that the spiritual person didn't even get any gifts from this person. Not even no flowers, man. They ain't get nothing probably from birthdays came and went. They probably took them out to eat and that's it. And I'm not saying that that's not a gift. You know, because you can take somebody to a really fancy, expensive restaurant, you know, that your partner has never been to before, to wine and dine them and show them a good time. You know what I mean? But I feel like if if the secret hater did anything for this spiritual person, it was the bare minimum. Like if they taking you out to eat, it's church's chicken. It's Jack in the Box. Where you want to go? Then you tell them, and it requires a reservation. You got to do all the legwork, and then when y'all do finally get there, they're in a foul mood. So they are ready to ruin the night. They're not even talking. Don't seem like they're happy about going. So you kind of like feel like, dang, I do a lot. I pay attention to a lot of things and do a lot of things for you. I buy stuff for you without you asking me to. Stuff I see that you need, I do that. And you know what I'm saying? When your birthday come, I go all out. We celebrate and I'm pulling in friends and family and stuff. Or I'm doing it big for you by myself. I'm doing things for you and to show you how I feel about you and stuff like that, and all I'm getting back is the bare minimum. That's all I'm getting. I can't even get no flowers. Like, I'm a bit confused, and it says you deserve flowers, not confusion. But I can't get the flowers, so I got the confusion though. Because what is going on? What's really happening? You don't make me feel like like I'm not worth anything, and that's why we be saying know your worth, male, female. You gotta know your worth because other people don't. Not everybody, but there's people that don't know your worth, and they're going to treat you like they don't know your worth. That's why you got to know. That's why you got to do for you. You got to do that self-love, that self-care for yourself. Because in situations such as this, some people will let you know exactly how they feel about you. The fifth card is sometimes it's just bad decisions. Not every drama is karma, mistakes, ownership, and humor, but it's in reverse. Sometimes it's just bad decisions. Not every drama is karma. And it's in reverse. You're not making no bad decisions no more. That's why it's in reverse. And this person is drama. They was hidden drama when you were in a relationship with them. Hidden drama. A hidden hater who was behind your back creating drama that you didn't even know. While you steady pouring into this person, they was taking from you and giving you the bare minimum and talking about you to other people that you don't even know. They literally was making you look bad to their friends and their family behind your back. That's why you got that weird vibe when you got around any of them, because they were talking about you, and these people were struggling to hold a straight face and not act funny. They were struggling to contain that energy of gossip that they had been privy to from your partner. That's why it felt awkward and it felt weird whenever you was around them, whenever they came around or you came around them or talked to them on the phone. It was even weird awkwardness in the conversations on the phone. Like you could tell they were trying to cover up something. They're trying to hide that energy because they've been sitting around talking about you like a dog. Your partner was the instigator of it all. As a matter of fact, I just heard there's a group chat with the family and the friends. Could be two separate ones or they could all be combined because it's friends. The friends that they have could know the family. But if there's a group chat that's going on and your name is all in it and they talking about you like a dog, okay? Just want you to, that just a sidebar. So you're not making no more bad decisions. You're not. You're not making no more bad decisions. You realize that wasn't a good decision to get with this person after I guess you want to say their mask fell off. And then you found out that they really was your hater. So when that mask fell off or whatever it was that they let you see, whatever it was, you realize that you were in a predicament, in a situation with somebody that you wish probably you had never gotten into. You know what I'm saying? So you started seeing things for what it was. And that spiritual path that you was on, you started seeking it like seriously, more seriously for yourself, though. For yourself. You start seeking the spiritual things. You start looking for spiritual things. You start studying more and researching more. And you tried to share some of those things with your partner at that time, but they were not interested. They couldn't even hold the conversation because they were ignorant of what you were talking about. And that made them feel small. It messed with them and made them feel insecure because you knew some things that they did not. So it's not like they can get in the ring with you and, you know, throw a few jabs with you or get on the court with you with the ball and pass it back and forth in a conversation. They couldn't do that. So they want to change the subject. They get irritated, want to change the subject and make it seem like you are always talking about spiritual things instead of, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain it? You didn't get that. You got irritation and then changing the subject. Sometimes they leave the house because they want to go get around some people that don't act like you, talk like you, or think like you. They want to get around some people that think and act and talk and do what they do. And they was trying to get you to be that way, but they realized also during your ascension that you're just not like the others. One of these things is not like the other. And you were that person that was just not like the others. And they were intrigued and irritated at the same time. You were something new. You were something that they did not expect. And I think the irritation came from the fact that they really had feelings for you before they realized who you actually were. And that added fuel to the irritation to have deep-seated emotions and feelings for somebody, only to find out y'all not the same. Okay? So you made a decision you felt like was a bad decision to get with this person, but both of y'all didn't know about each other, who each other were. You didn't know this was your hater and they was determined to stay in the dark, and they didn't know that you were a gift, spiritual and in the light, and was really elevating fast. Okay? And that's where the issues came in. Your last card I got says, he owes you nothing but silence. Closure isn't coming in a text. Acceptance, self-reliance, reality in the upright. Okay? He owes you nothing but silence. Or she owes you nothing but silence. You know, pick a side where you at. Closure isn't coming in a text. Acceptance, self-reliance, and reality. So it could possibly be that this person is feeling like they have unfinished business with you. However, y'all separated and you went on your glow up, your spiritual glow up. You still doing the work. You still mending. You still healing. You still seeking those spiritual things. You still vibing high. You still on your journey, on that path. This person may feel like y'all got some loose ends to tie up. They may feel like, y'all need to have a conversation. And this is what I'm picking up intuitively. They haven't accepted the fact that this is not coming back between the two of y'all. Y'all not getting back together. They haven't accepted that. They kind of know, but they haven't fully accepted it. Because when y'all were together, you poured into this person. You tried really hard to love this person. You tried really hard to show them a better way. You tried really hard to direct them toward the light. You tried really hard to show them that emotions are good. There's nothing wrong with opening up and being open and what's the word I want to use? Vulnerable. You tried really hard to show them that you could be trusted. It was safe for them to love. You tried a lot. You tried to show them the way. And this person was eating up all of that, but not really absorbing any of the things you were saying, just the energy. Whatever you were giving them, they were taking it. All the love, all the attention, all the intimacy, all that you was trying to show them. They didn't say much because they didn't know what you was talking about. They didn't fully understand that. But they understood your emotions that you were putting in that good energy. They understood that. And they were taking that. As much as you was giving it, they was taking it. But they weren't interested in nothing on the long run, because they realized at some point that this is not going to work. But if I can string this person along and keep them with me, then that's what I'm going to do, because I can't give up this good energy. But you ended that. You had to go on your journey. You had to. So they looking at you as having a spiritual glow up, and they think that you're not real. They don't think it's a real thing. They're talking and telling people it's not real. He'll be back. She'll be back. They always do. Maybe they've done this to other people before, this kind of behavior, and people leave and then they come back. You didn't do that. It's not real. You're going to see. You're going to see. Something going to happen, and you're going to see all that love and light go out the window. They're not a responsible person. We live together. Or I've been over her house or his house. They're not a very clean person. They don't even wash their clothes. They're not this, and they be just lying. This is not true, okay? This is what I'm trying to say, but this is what they're telling people. Like they really, can stand, have a leg to stand on to say what they're saying about you. They're just mad at you. They're just your number one hater. And I know you probably like, how can somebody that I was with that said they love me turn out to be my biggest hater? Easy, because they always was your hater, and they're very good at lying and pretending. But you tried hard, and they gave you the bare minimum, but they took everything you gave and gave you very, very little, figuring that you'd be okay with that. And at some point you was not, okay? You stopped taking that little bit. You realize you made a decision that wasn't a good decision. It says sometimes it's just a bad decision. And it is what it is, as they say. So you taking ownership of the fact that this was a decision you made to be with this person. And it was a decision you made to try to help this person. But unfortunately, it was not a good decision. It didn't turn out good for you. Okay? So you decided to separate and continue on your spiritual journey as they're looking at you as you're having a spiritual glow up, saying that it's not real. They think you're phony and they think you're fake. Okay? That's what it is. And they feel like it's unfinished business. That y'all got some loose ends to tie up. They haven't accepted the fact that this is truly over. Because at one point y'all was like this. So they're having a hard time probably replacing you, finding somebody with your energy. They can't find nobody like you. And this is why they feel like that they need closure. We need to have the closure conversation. And you have probably left them on red, probably not answering, blocked them some kind of way, social media on your phone. You might have changed your phone number. You blocked all the relatives, all the friends y'all had in common, or if you knew any of their friends, you done blocked every avenue. You really are done because you're serious about the spiritual path that you're on, and they still think that it's a joke. Peace, love, and light.